Elegy is without a doubt one of the legendary scary episodes from this show. The plot's fairly straightforward, but its twisted nightmares help cement this series as the horror icon it is, as well as delivered a ghoulish story that'll haunt you forever. In this trip, we follow a trio of astronauts named Myers, Weber, and Kirby, who get lost on their return to Earth after a space exploration mission for the Federation, I guess, only to land on an asteroid museum built to look exactly like Earth. However, they find zero signs of life or aid whatsoever, as all the people there are only lifelike frozen statues, standing in place to appear alive, almost like a memorial of some kind. The first half of this adventure is essentially the trio exploring the ghost town and bumping into statue after statue as they desperately try to get help, which makes it super unsettling. The model city is another one of the Twilight Zone's most unnerving worlds, as it captures the feeling of isolation as well as the paranoia of feeling like you're being watched. If you can believe it or not, most of the model citizens are actually portrayed by real actors standing perfectly still, just to capture that lifelike design. If you squint very closely, you can catch a glimpse or two of some background stunt people losing their freeze once in a while, but for the most part they pull it off. Whenever the characters do get physical with the statues, they often shift to dummies or model stand-ins, which adds an uncanny valley factor to make the frozen toys feel more scary. The model city is visually stunning, on the same field as House of Wax. This plot has the classic horror movie characters getting lost in an unfamiliar land theme, which this episode makes horrific when the heroes start to go mad when they can't find anyone. Just when you think things can't get even creepier, they finally stumble upon a sentient being, a robot caretaker that tends to the model cities, whom I'm going to dub Brainiac, because you'll find out why soon enough. Brainiac is a very sketchy android in the form of a kind-hearted old man who offers the boys the answers they seek. The guy playing the robot butler is so ominous and eerily calm, treating his job of maintaining the status of his model utopia with such nonchalance that makes one cold.
Happy Glades promises eternal peace, everlasting peace. You couldn't have that on Earth. Now, could you?
Brainiac explains that this asteroid city is not a toy chest or a scale model at all.
Where are we? Why, you're in a cemetery.
The townsfolk are long dead people who Brainiac captured in a perfect moment of life, where he preserves their corpses, living out the dreams they always wanted to have. All the people frozen in place are real dead humans, whom Brainiac gave peace to. This place is a special burial ground, where one's body is preserved in a great moment of life that can last forever. And each setup is a lost soul living in the fantasy they hope to achieve. A person winning an election, a beauty pageant winner, a simple life outdoors, anything they desire. Brainiac basically collects dead people and consistently tends to these perfect dioramas to ensure they stay perfect.
Holy crap!
Now you know why I dub him Brainiac. The old machine is programmed to make sure this memorial site is to never be disturbed and take care of it, no matter the cost. Brainiac rather quickly turns on the astronauts, revealing that he poisoned them and plans to add them
to my collection.
He apologizes having to do so, but the robot views the travelers as a problem which needs solving.
And while there are men, there can be no peace.
I kind of like that he explains that he views them as a threat to his duties as protector of the grave, since that feels so deranged how he believes he's doing good by eliminating guys he views as intruders. It's a small bit, but makes you think how far humanity can go for an extreme end goal. Earlier in the episode, Brainiac asked what the trio wished for the most, where they all say how they only wish to go home to Earth, where this episode gets even more demented because the android was planning on killing them the whole time, and after finishing them, he proceeds to add their corpses to his collection, where they get a model space room of them flying back to Earth, all while the caretaker dusts them up to chipper music. Yeah, this was a rather grim fable. This is like haunting our dark. I love it. You know how in video games you can find collectibles detailing a previous traveler's log where they got into a scary situation and likely died? Well, that perfectly sums up this episode. This is a grim side story of poor saps unknowingly ending up in a greater terror. This episode does the horror of getting lost in a dangerous land very well, and simply acts as a cautionary tale to be wary of strangers, or not putting your nose into other people's business. Feeling like a retro fable, I think it still holds up well as one of the scariest stories from the show. As the setting is unwelcoming, the eerie quiet adds a sense of dread, the twist is twisted, the villain is super effective, and the nightmare fuel contains a complex madness underneath the terror. The only thing I don't like is that I thought the astronauts were way too trusting of Brainiac, since this dude acts sinister all throughout the episode and they barely know him, yet they just totally trust him when he feeds them stuff they don't know of and are shocked he was evil.
I told you not to trust him! I told you!
I'm stupid!
It's just lame, and kind of anticlimactic since they're insta-killed right when the tale got good. But other than a single idiot moment, I legit think the story as a whole is amazeballs. This is the type of horror storytelling that leaves a long-lasting aftertaste of fear, and provides an enchanting yet grisly adventure. So, I give this unholy presentation a gold skull. Sadly, not a perfect score, since it's got some huge heavy hitters to compete with, but I do recommend it if you're looking for a scary Twilight Zone entry. Elegy is a pure horror project that'll leave the show's scariness perfectly preserved.
In other words, this is the place where your dreams come true after you've stopped dreaming.
The Twilight Zone.